Live streaming is on.
All right, sweet. Thank you very much for joining us, everyone. I'm Dan Gay, Chief Marketing Officer of BlockSearch Blockchain, and we're very enthused to have you here with us this morning as we continue to have some new upgrades to our channel at The World From Here. Good morning to you, Tim.
How you doing, Dan?
Great.
Friday morning live.
Friday morning live.
Last World From Here this year.
Oh, that's true. That's true. And
yeah.
We here in Denver, we got snow for the kickoff of the whole New Year's and Christmas and kind of that season thing. So,
wow. Well, it's definitely 'tis the season, right?
'Tis the season, yeah.
We got lots of Christmas gifts to give away here at BlockSearch.
We do, and we've got DeCentralized December, which Tim, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, 2-for-1 tokens or 50% off the choice program, and everybody's getting in, so we can decentralize the cloud. That's our goal, right?
It is, and a perfect time to get in before the new year because we've got some more presents to give in the new year. All kinds of things happening here at BlockSearch. So
yeah, and in the world, and it's been a crazy week. So here we go. Here we go. We talked about work certain last week, and then a few days ago, this came out. Some CEO from Better.com, big mortgage banking company. Can you see my screen okay, Dan?
Yeah, it looks good, Tim.
Okay, yeah. So big mortgage banking company lays off 900 employees and accuses them of stealing. So stealing time, only working 2 hours and so forth. So my question is, what were you watching? So
exactly. You and I talked about this yesterday. What kind of management is that?
Yeah. So really, I'm looking at this and I'm saying, okay, well, what really is going on here? And is this just another exercise in kind of centralized control? How do we pump valuation and everything? And surprise, surprise, November 30th, Better.com got $750 million in cash infusion, and with its SPAC backers. Guess who that is? Again, it's Aurora Acquisition Corp is the SPAC, and SoftBank. So can anybody remember WeWork?
Yeah, vaguely.
Yeah, vaguely. So the interesting thing about this is really when you look at this, you say, well, was this move a move to that was kind of poor management, getting 900 people involved, not really allocating work to them? Was it really an economic move? Was it a move like traditionally in the stock market when companies lay off people, stocks go up? I mean, that's a well-known fact. It's a historic thing. So, when we see this kind of thing and we talk about it, that's what we're talking about when we say work certain, right? And team certain. Like really, it's the CEO's responsibility to hire right, to have productivity. Jim Collins, good to great. It's all about culture, and what struck me is this. Do I want to borrow from a company like that?
Right.
Like it's
who's
Christmas time.
Yeah, who's mismanaging.
you missed a payment, we're foreclosing.
Exactly. Or who's mismanaging employees. And what you and I were talking about yesterday is if there's truth, trust, and transparency,
Right.
if you truly are engaged and know what's going on in your business and you have tracking, et cetera, it shouldn't be an epiphany that, oh my God, 900 people are shortchanging us. You should know that with each individual and how they're working and engaging with you.
Engaging over time. You don't just all of a sudden at once say, hey, 900 people, click here, you're fired.
Right.
I mean, really?
Join the Zoom call.
Yeah, join the Zoom call, you're fired.
Right.
I mean, seriously, is that the kind of world we want to live in? I don't think so. I don't think.
No.
But it is a world that's here, and it is a world of Zoom, of course. There's 1,000 things you could do. You could start tracking this stuff. You could have smarter digital business and digital analytics. You could start seeing these things way in advance and asking people, hey, do you have enough to do? Because if you don't, we're not going to be able to afford to pay you 8 hours a day when you're only working 1 or 2.
Well, and Tim, maybe the choice would have been, hey, would you like to work part-time? There are other choices. Would you
like to work part-time? Do you have any ideas for us? You know, what could you contribute more to add value? Because we're not able to give you stuff. What are we missing? What am I missing as a CEO? Those are the kinds of things that I think really this digital world begs. And then how do those people communicate that safely in a good, trusted environment? And that's why when we talk about, trust, Dan, we've brought out what we call Team Certain, and really expanding on that in 2022 to, create that trust environment, because Trustonomics is really what we're talking about here. Can you trust the business you're doing with? And is this when look, we're consumers, and all of us are at some point in our lives. And do we trust and like the sustainable business practices of businesses? Right? That's reality. And if they're doing it in one segment of the business, especially the people that are making that business work, the employees, are they doing it in another sector? Right?
Well, and the lines are so blurred between your personal life and business life anymore. And that's why, a tool to manage all of it is important for all businesses, especially those businesses.
A platform, because it's not about tools anymore, right? It's about this consciousness of who we are in the world. And one statement that I loved when we were talking about B2B, which is business to business software, or B2C, business to business software, is when we had the conversation, and it came up really today, it's about C to B. It's about what that end user customer, or more like you to be, who is the user, and what are they doing with the business? That's stakeholder capitalism. That's engagement of all factors of the business. And that's what's possible in a digital world, in a work certain world. And, we showed last week the work certain platform, but, we're really, a big part of work certain is where everybody can work. And we showed this video last week. Should we run it again? It's only a minute.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, I'm going to do that.
Because it's a new way to work, and a new way to manage, and a new way to collaborate.
You can see, think about this. This is the culture you want to build, not 900 people, you're fired, right?
Nice.
Well, and I think that the reason we made that, Dan, and the whole idea behind Work Certain was really, how do we want to work as people? Where are we going to work? And what's that culture? What's that life look like from here? This isn't the new normal anymore. This is the normal.
It is what it is.
This is reality. This is our metaverse. We are living the metaverse, right?
We are.
The only thing different between what we do to every day and the metaverse is I'm not an animated character right now. That's it. That's the difference. That's a big secret. Right?
Yeah. Well,
I haven't created VD or VD. I haven't created 3D. I haven't created 3D.
There you go.
Virtualize myself, right?
Right. And that's what to me is hilarious, is that Microsoft and everybody's running to get something that looks like a cartoon character, but we already have something that is real life now.
This is digital. I'm digital.
Yeah.
Like, you're seeing me live, so I maybe didn't take a shower today, so you see my 3D. That's about it.
Right.
That's about it. And it's really important as we get into 2022 and we get into this metaverse that people understand that data thing, how that tracking stuff works, and so forth. We're going to talk about that. But I think, speaking of VD, let's talk about COVID. Let's talk about what else happened this week. Right? I mean, scary. You know that firsthand. So
it's scary. I know my son I saw my son on Sunday. He called us on Monday and said he was sick, and then tested positive, and then his girlfriend tested positive the next day, and so my wife and I are quarantined. We're feeling okay, but in Denver, the hospitals are maxed, and it's as high as level as it has ever been. So we're still in this, unfortunately.
And I got a text first thing this morning from overseas. One of our key senior engineers' daughter has COVID now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
They think that all of the kids might have it. I mean, It's scary. Like, it's very scary. This new variant is rampant in South Africa. They thought they were through it. The new variant's out. Again, not the new normal. This is the normal, and it is a future that is frightening, and it's a future that governments are dealing with. I mean, look at what happened just a few hours ago in the UK. COVID new Plan B rules on the work from home and masks announced for England, and this is the Prime Minister talking about it and so forth. So Germany locked down a little bit earlier, just on December 2nd. All of this right before Christmas. And we're looking at this stuff and we're saying, what is going to bring some certainty to this world? This is new world, not new normal. This is new world, right?
Correct.
And it's everywhere. Countries, the governments, the politicians are dealing with it differently, but it's a reality.
It is. And Tim, I'm just so grateful to have my own home office and to have the platform we have, so we can work with people around the world and collaborate and really engage and be personal, even though we're not in the office. So our new virtual office is our new normal.
Exactly. And so as we do that, we're seeing these different things and these different functionalities that have to come forward. We've shown our wallet, we've shown all the functionality in there. And I was talking yesterday to some of our UX people. I said, it's very difficult to make something so encompassing as a platform that you're handing to people and you're giving cloud power to people in one place, and then they get to control it. It's very difficult to get that mindset around and get the user interaction right. And that's really a big challenge that we deal with all the time. Add that to the fact that this next element we want to talk to is cryptocurrency. And I just couldn't help but look at this picture. Like,
what's wrong with this picture?
This is Maxine Waters, and I think they're doing the right thing. Let me get this straight. I think Congress is doing the right thing, trying to get educated. But I've been at this for over a decade, and you don't learn this stuff in
a hearing.
in a 20 or 30-minute testimony from a crypto CEO.
Right.
And the other problem with that kind of a model of how do I learn about crypto is, who am I learning about crypto from? And what is it? Like, really, at the end of the day, what is crypto? Like, what does the cryptographic money universe look like? And we talk about this all the time. Crypto is more than crypto.
It's not a way to pass money back and forth. And we've already blurred the lines between crypto and life and work.
Yes.
So it's more than crypto. And, Congress, they talked to some of the top execs, which they didn't talk to you. So I'm not sure what they were doing, but they talked to some
Canadian, Dan.
That's true. You're right. But, there were some interesting questions like, what is a stable coin from some of the congressmen, but also there were really good questions about how do we make sure that we have protection for consumers, but not squelch something that is the next internet that's building and growing and send things off and overseas. So I think it's a good thing that they're meeting, but and much more to go.
I think it's a really good first step, but it's really important to say, what's utility? What does blockchain mean? Right. And what's the fundamental underlying kind of, we talk about the inflection point, the change in the cloud that connects us. What's the change in digital that makes our work real on the web? What is it that's actually happening here? Crypto is a really early stage version 1 of value transfer, but is it efficient? So let's just explore that for 1 second. Is this actually the version that they're looking at right now? Is this actually efficient? And the answer is not so much.
Not yet.
Not so much. So Ethereum, which is the biggest smart contract platform out there, beautiful, brilliant technology. Gas fees, which are the transaction model of Ethereum, have risen 2,300% since June, according to this article at the end of October. So look at that. What does that mean? That means an average transaction fee on Ethereum is about $51.45. So I've explained this before when Bitcoin got there, but let me explain it one more time. If I want to send you $100, it's going to cost me $51.45.
51%.
51%. Tell you what, go to Western Union and do it that way.
Right.
Or PayPal or anywhere else, because that don't work.
No,
it's not functional. There is not utility there. That $51.45 is made by miners. It's then you've got the transaction and trade fees on top of it. That's who they're talking to right now. And yes, it's a $4 trillion market, or I think 3 trillion, I can't remember. But the point is, it's a big market emerging, but it's not yet utility based. And that's what we built in with BlockSearch, to eliminate those things that just don't make it feasible to use. Yet almost over the last half a decade or more, all of the functionality has been based on how do we deal with the financial stuff. And everybody forgot that, oh my God, there's huge utility here that can change things like supply chain, like work, like identity management, like privacy, like data security, like all of those things that we actually use the internet for.
Yeah, and Tim, I didn't hear in the, because I watched some of the Congress testimony, but I didn't hear anything about the 30 billion records that were exposed last year.
No.
You know, there are other, you know, as you say, security, privacy, et cetera, and that's a key thing as well.
Yeah, and so, you know, it doesn't take that much. Like you could figure this out by looking at this and say, well, what's the overall impact of something that, look at this. This was gas fees before anybody was paying attention. And then boom, everybody became aware, and this is what started happening, right? This is a 3-year curve. So if I look at all time here, I just compress it. Since 2016, you were kind of playing around here. There's a little bump in 2018, but it's flat. It's so much bigger now that it doesn't even show up on the chart for, what is that? 4 or 5 years. Like this is a really good indication of crypto and blockchain. We weren't even on the map. Well, not like the whole ecosystem of blockchain wasn't even on the map until maybe, what's this? I'll bet that's about March 2020.
Yeah, right.
That's probably about when COVID hit. Now look at it.
Yeah, it's both adoption, and you look at what has happened to their price. About then, it was like $79. Now it's over 4,000.
It's awareness, right?
Yeah, right.
And so you don't have to look that far to see. And again, starting out with what do regulations need to look like are great, but really the idea of utility that was brought up very, very early on in some of the regulations, like, do you actually have a real platform, or is it just a white paper, right?
Right.
And we've lived that. And yes, we have a real platform. It really is tied to blockchain. Every business on blockchain and every person protecting their identity. Now, how does tokenization, not crypto, but tokenization tie into that? And what role, because crypto is a role. It's not the entire function. It is a role of the blockchain, an important role. Just like money's an important role in economics, just like stock markets are an important role in public companies and adding value to shareholders. And what is the role of building stakeholder capitalism?
Yeah, and Tim, also people talk about crypto, but they forget the rest of that word, cryptography.
That's right, cryptographic money. Right. And, you know, all you have to do is go back to some of the seminal work, 1997, Nick Szabo, another great Hungarian. Of course, you know, I love Hungarians.
Well, it's in your genes, right, Tim?
It's in my genes. And he wrote the idea of identity in smart contracts, 1997.
Right.
So here we are, and what is it, almost 25 years later now, right? 25 years later. I know it's 25 years because I immigrated to Canada 25 years ago, the next year. And so the whole idea is this idea of smart contracts, utility, was brought up 25 years ago, 2.5 decades, right? Yeah. And so back then, when I was working in tech, also fun fact that is off subject, but I might as well throw it out there. The metaverse, first brought up 1992. First time I built a digital 3D world was 1996. So yes, wow. I'm dating myself.
Yeah.
And I did it using some code bases that they still use today. Maya, Blender, VRML, which was a virtual reality modeling language. HTML took over, but VRML was actually there. So all of this stuff started 2.5 decades ago.
Well, it's like anything else. You know, the internet didn't just start, you know, back in whenever it was, 1999, it's into the 2000s. That was started, you know, 20 years earlier, and it progressed. It is similarly to blockchain and what we're talking about today.
Yeah. So what I think, and we invite everybody always to download our wallet, jump in, start looking at all the tools there, go on WorkCert and start an environment, because that will give you a true idea, a true interaction space, a true way to start being part of this without totally looking at speculation of a cryptocurrency. And that's really kind of the point here, which is when we talk about the world from here and we talk about these trends week over week, like there's never a lack of things to talk about. In fact, I know we only have about 4 minutes left here.
Right.
We always run out of time.
Oh, I know.
Things we could talk about. But the idea is to get involved and to look at a little deeper than that quick pop, GameStop, I made that rhyme, mentality. Yeah. And get it out there so you can start seeing, participating. That's why we came up with the choice program. Is everything going to be at your fingertips? Yeah, it is. Is it a learning curve? Absolutely. But what are you learning? Think about that. What is the most important thing to learn? What are you learning about how you're going to control your life? What about putting your identity in a vault that you control? Right. So next week, we're going to have some really cool stuff about vault certain, like really, really cool that everybody, like literally everybody needs to think about and be part of as this digital world expands, because it's not going away. Lockdowns, crypto, working digitally, and then either being treated in a great culture or a crappy culture. Right. I mean, all those kinds of things, where we place our trust, where we place our money, where we get our services and products from is all should be based on trust. And that trust goes with how much control I have, how much choice do I have? That's what we called our program choice, right?
Correct. In that vault, I was talking to a pilot, one of our token members yesterday, who realized, hey, I can upload my whole life here. I can upload my passwords. I can upload documents while I'm traveling and just access them and protect them, and way better than trying to rifle through some kind of file system Absolutely. At home. And it's usually when I need stuff that I'm not next to my files or file folders.
Dan, when I'm working now, and our team has, shout out again to our brilliant team all over the world. Our team has done such a great job. And I realize I've got a PhD in the BlockSearch platform. You have to, after a few million hours, you should know one thing or two, right?
You should. Professor Tim. Well, that's how I was going to start this, Professor Tim. And a lot of people don't understand or know that you started the entrepreneurial program at the University of Victoria, and you are.
Well, I was on the team. I was the founding entrepreneurship entrepreneur in residence for sure. And
and you're still doing it with us.
Yeah. So when I was looking at those early days, that was in 1997, actually. Yeah. And I wrote the open structure organization model. This was the vision of the future back then. And so like 20 years ago, when I was writing that and how to do ventures and how to do entrepreneurial models, it was kind of clear to me that this digital world was going to change. And I pinch myself every day now, because I wake up, I log on, I use, sometimes I don't even wake up. I'm laying in bed with my mobile office here. And I'm just like at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, you know that. Yeah. And I'm looking at it. I'm like, I don't even have to remember anything, because as you said last week, this knows more about what I should be doing than you do. Than I can possibly remember.
Right.
So, when we look at that, to summarize this, that's how you avoid laying 900 people off on a Zoom call, right? And we could talk about Zoom later and being that public with your business. But those are the kinds of things that enterprises need to think about, that people who work for companies think about, and that we as consumers can now start choosing from in Web 3.0. Who do we want to do business with, and how do we want to build a sustainable digital future? I think that's really what BlockSearch is about.
Exactly. And we see it every day, and it's very exciting to see the different applications that people are starting to find out and realize what one can do.
Right. And what do we want our kids' future to be like? Do we want it to have the same kind of problems that we experience? So to end with an Einstein statement, which is my favorite, probably my favorite of all time: we cannot solve the significant problems we face today at the same level of thinking we were at when we created them. So think different, do different, stay digital. We're done. Stay healthy. Please stay healthy. This new variant is real. Dan's got personal experience. Our staff has personal experience. We all do. Yeah, you got to get out there, but you also have to be diligent and get digital. Get on Web 3.0. That's the best advice I can give anybody. Get on Web 3.0. It's not just about one thing called crypto, and it's not just about the news headlines and the tweets.
True. Tim, and two couple quick things. If you haven't done so already, subscribe. We really appreciate those who are subscribing, and we surpassed over 10,000 views, and people continue to find us, and we're very enthused that you're part of what we do every Friday. And then also hit the thumbs up button if you like what you heard. And then also next week, Tim, I know we've got the Vault NFTs, and we've got a special guest we're going to have on Friday, and then we're out of here for the holidays after that. But
and I'm excited about Digital December. That's going to go up through and close to Christmas. So make sure that you're participating and becoming part of this new future, because 2022 is going to be cool.
Yep, agreed. Lots in store for you. So with that, thanks for joining us, everybody. And Tim,
have a great weekend, and stay safe, stay digital, and stay healthy. I reversed that, but
it all works.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.